Hello, John Dilworth here, and we're back at it late at night. Again, that's just the way it is. We get used to it. So, we're going back to clean up gym, and that's what I'm excited about. Because we make progress every day. Every day we do something. And right now, I'm just trying to look for my drawings. Just a moment. There we go. I needed his feet. And so I'm going to take this filthy object and I'm just going to lightly go over that. And then I'm going to begin this process. Jim is doing some very active, very fast action. It's the fast action that you could delegate to a junior animator. And the theory with that would be the delicate stuff, the tender stuff, requires more time to get across in terms of time on screen. It would be more subtle, and that's why you give the subtle stuff to your better animators, because of the acting and the emotion that's required to get it across convincingly. Now, I was just voting on the Student Academy Awards, and lots of CG, lots of the finalists. Two were hand-drawn, and one exceptional in substance. So you have a lot. So I've noticed there's a lot of flashy stuff, very, very slick stuff coming out of the schools. And that's smart because you want to get a job. And I totally understand that. And what happens is the substance loses out, because you can do a hell of a lot with the computers, the machines. But I was just thinking also today, speaking to a producer in Los Angeles and looking at his project, and it was rather, it just had everything going on in it. It was like watching, if you ever watched a Korean film, they're masters at putting in something for every demographic. So you just go to one movie, you get it all. And here it was just too much. And then I began thinking about my own adventures in developing shows with substance. Let me ask you, what does humanity mean? It's a term that it's being used in Hollywood as I guess it's a phrase to build a library on of property, of product, humanity. What does that mean, really? Is that, in the end, love wins out? Compassion? That, I don't know, what is being human now? We have to look at that also, especially today. What does it mean to be human? I'm personally, myself, I'm confused. Today, it's very strange. But we're just cleaning up here and having a chat, as animators do. When they're at the midnight hour, they just start going bananas about anything. and we're not really talking about the craft. But here Jim is, well, for me, when I see Jim here, he's in transition, and this cleanup has to be done anyway. So I thought, well, let's why don't we all just hang out together and do it. But cleaning up, especially your own stuff, is the best. And at some point I'm going to have to put numbers on these drawings. But what I like to do is just get through this batch of cleanups, and then I'll go back with the sheets and put them all in. And I just, this is the stuff I have to do for our colorists when we get back into that world. And I hope soon, because I really don't like this delay. I'm just not accustomed to it, really. I like just going, making the film. But we have to be patient. We have to be patient. If anyone, a few of you may recall the process we got here, which was exciting for me. I mean, I love figuring out these moves. And I remember this. It's like a few days ago. Yeah. And you always have your model. I always have my model with me. And always checking to see that I'm on model. And see, I even forgot this, and I forgot this. And this is one of the, you work all day, and you have to eat, and, you know, all this jazz. And then eventually, you just get tired. But having you with me while I'm animating makes it easier. It really does. That's why it's also important to remember how much we need each other. Not to be afraid. We're not the problem. I'll just put teeth. I don't want to. I'm going to have him looking at Jane. I want to get this hair. Remember, he's got that one long hair and then these little hairs. Oopsies. Now, I haven't heard from Vicky Vo, and we are not concerned, but it's unlike her to not check in. You know, we're doing these backgrounds, and I want to be able to show you these things. Oh, one thing I want to do is make a video of all the wonderful fan art that I've been receiving. I mean, it's just impossible. I would do nothing else if I answered all the emails. But I love getting them, and I do read them. And so what I thought of doing, and I'm getting all these, I mean, thanks also to Kevin. He's been a #1 supporter of HOWL and the Dilworth thing, animation. But I've been receiving so much fan art, interpretations of the characters, and I'm going to just make a video and to honor those wonderful efforts, because they really should, right? And it's good to be encouraged. My own sister, Belly One, she sent me a sheet of designs, and she's brilliant. she wrote on Courage, she worked on all the series, she worked on Prudence. She's just terrific. And she finally comes into her own. It'll be a proud day for me, as it would be for anybody we care about, right, that succeeds. And then I had a conversation also about the nature of creating. Me personally, I'm kind of like a loyal one substantial show at a time guy, creator. If I'm working on one thing, then it gets everything I got, because I want it to be the best that it can be. And it requires attention, and attention will require sacrifice, prioritizing. And there'll be some projects that just, I had this thing going on, preschool, that I also loved, but oh my goodness, there's something about the curriculum, the whole genre of preschool. I've done only 2 of these things in the past. I know many of you may think of Ace and Avery, and then Noodles and Ned, and those were so super sweet and easy, but nothing like a substantial series. So what my point is that we have to, I agree that we have to listen to ourselves. We're not factories. I'm not. I'm just not a factory. And also, I'm living. It's my life too. And yeah, we have bills to pay, and money is such a big thing in the world. That's what we live for, right? There's that practicality to it. But to really just get into the world that you're creating, that's true hallucinations. That's a living hallucination without any substances. You don't need anything. You just enter on your own. Enter on your own. And that's basically how I've survived my whole life, is in my little animation. And however way it is developed, what can I do? I'm just doing the best. And that phrase is always, and tell you the truth, I'm not even sure I'm doing my best, because there are nights I'm feeling lazy, or I've been out partying, then the day before I'm distracted by something else. Is that really my best? I got to really think about that. What I'm doing is giving myself a guide here, an anchor on Jim's shoe. I want it to be squashed, of course, because he's landing. But that's where he's going to end up. And then this shoe. I remember suffering with this thing. That was great. I love that. That was a lot of fun. And we did it. We pulled through. We found the right perspective and all that jazz. So there she goes. And also, when I want to relax, I will get on the table. Oopsies. The wind is blowing all my drawings. You should see this makeshift. Now that everybody's home, the studios are quiet. And the assistants. And Anthony, I wonder what Anthony's doing. I can't wait to see whenever he gets around to the unicorn revision. I'm so looking forward to that. So Jim is going through things here. Of course, if you look out anywhere in the world, you see the moon is half. I've come to regard the moon with deep suspicion. And I'm going to have Jim's eye up here, because he's going to be there. Bing. And this is a time where I'm not going to delay the hands, because I just don't have the time. in terms of frames. And then also I promised myself I wouldn't make a long video anymore, because who knows, these things must be too long. You'll have to tell me. I've recently they've just been getting longer than I've ever done them. And if they're just too long, you have to let me know, and I'll just cut it off. And we'll pick it up another time. Well, maybe I'll just finish this one drawing, because I really, sometimes, you know how it is. You're working, and you don't really have anything to say that's going to improve your world, except a little bit of stomach action. I'm always looking for strange, unusual ways to reveal parts of a character's body. If he's moving, get to see his belly button. It's like forbidden stuff. And I'll do this and this. And maybe I'll just, you know what we're going to need, my friends? We're going to need the drawing from behind a rear. Just to give him a little, because the shirt is, yeah, like that. And then down. It's so easy. It happens. And then this hand is here. We have to be careful with our hands so that they're looking right. Now, I'm not spending an amazing and crucial time with these hands, because again, we have to know how fast things are moving. And this is a really fast action. It's only meant for you to feel it, because it's too fast to be seen, believe it or not. But, oh, I have such good news. Dave, who's been, oh my God, chugging away on preparing our Blu-ray of the greatest Dilworth short films. And they're gonna be a lot of them, and he's just doing amazing work. And I can't wait. Hopefully we're going to release this in time for the holidays. A Blu-ray of all my films, remastered. Dave is remastering all the films, so they're going to look beautiful. And he wants extras, but oh, there's an earthquake. Why don't I ever learn? I never learn. And so luckily we're going to close this up soon. So yeah, I was looking at frames and color correction, and oh my goodness, it's so much to do. It's not easy work. But here we are. We have all these beautiful films, and we have to release them. We have to honor them. I'm not going to be alive forever. And we're going to leave something behind. Perhaps, others could learn, improve, and seek out those things that are most important to us, that, you feel like you want to illustrate in animation. And why not? Animation's such a lovely little craft. And if you could do it in any way you want, use computers, use rocks if you want to, if that's the thing. Just doing that so we can have. Ooh, and then what happens here? His eyes are. These shadows are going to be a little tough to do. And then one more. Let me just see. Not a cleanup, but it's already done. We did it. It's one of these things I do when I'm waiting for something else to happen. And that should be that. Oh, and then his navel is up again. There's something about Jim's navel. We're going to have to figure out a thing, like what exactly. Oh, so here is, so let's just look at it from the floor. And then we'll say goodnight. This is really what I wanted to do. So there it is. And it just comes back up, up. He goes, oi, oi. Well, I have to do this. I have to ease into this. Oh, oh. It's going to be a nice expression. And thank you for witnessing that with me. Until next time, stay animated.